But he was loyal where it counted. He worked until his last hours, and he modeled, even if imperfectly, the idea that friendship can survive real disagreement, and can even survive whatever we believe waits on the other side of it, the way he did. Hi, I'm Rabbi Joseph Kolakowski, the Koblenzer Rav. Shalom, Rucham Abayim, and welcome to our channel. This past weekend, America lost one of its most consequential senators. Lindsey Graham of South Carolina died suddenly at age 71, just hours after returning home from a trip overseas to Ukraine. The cause was an aortic dissection, kind of thing that gives no warning and no mercy. I want to take a few minutes to talk about him today. I'll tell you up front, I am a Republican myself, so I'm not someone coming from across the aisle looking in. I also didn't necessarily agree with him on every issue, but this isn't a video about policy anyway. I want to talk about him as a man who took faith, family, and friendship seriously. And as an example, flawed, complicated, but real, what it looks like to hold deep convictions and still reach across the divide. Let me be upfront about something else too, because honesty matters here. I'm not a Zionist. That's not where I come from religiously. I do support Israel as a valuable American ally. And so politically I'm a Republican. Religiously I am not a Zionist. As many of my colleagues and friends would share the same ideas. And if you watch this video channel for any length of time, you probably already knew that. And if you haven't watched, maybe consider subscribing. It doesn't cost anything. But this isn't really a video about Zionism or about foreign policy positions that I may or may not share. It's a video about loyalty, about family, friendship across a real difference, and about a man who showed all of these traits in a way that's generally rare in Washington today, and has been for a while. You don't have to share someone's politics or their view of Israel or anything to recognize what was real in how he lived. Lindsey Graham's story starts in central South Carolina, above his family's liquor store, restaurant, and pool hall. He lost both his parents while he was still a young man, still in school, and serving in the Air Force. And he became the one raising his little sister. Actually, once he joined the military, he legally adopted his sister as his own daughter. Why? So that she, if he would die in service to this country, that she would receive his military benefits as his child. That's not a Senate biography detail. That's a formation story. People who raise their siblings at 19 years old don't grow up soft. They grow up serious. Graham spent 3 years in the legislature, first in the House, and then for over 20 years in the Senate seat once held by Strom Thurmond. Along the way, he became one of the most recognizable Republican voices on foreign policy in the entire country. He was a hawk. He believed in American strength, in NATO, and in standing with allies who couldn't stand alone. And whatever you think of his politics on this, or politics in general on this issue, it's simply a fact. Graham was one of the most consistent allies Israel had in the U.S. Senate. He traveled to the Holy Land dozens of times over the decades, including just 2 weeks after the horrific pogroms of October 7th. He had a line he repeated for years: Israel's security is America's security. And Jewish organizations across the spectrum, from AIPAC to the Orthodox Union, and the Agudath Israel, and the WZO, are calling him a friend the community won't see the likes of again. That's worth noting even from where I sit. And here's what strikes me the most. I think it will strike you too. In the final days of his life, Graham wasn't home resting. He was in Kyiv. He was touring a Ukrainian drone factory. He sat down with President Zelensky on a Friday, and by that Saturday night, he was gone. Zelensky himself said afterwards that the two of them were in constant dialogue, and that Graham had spent his final weeks working on ways to bring the war closer to an end, including tightening sanctions on Russia. NATO's Secretary General called him a powerful advocate for the alliance, and Prime Minister Bibi Netanyahu on American television called Lindsey Graham one of the great champions of the American-Israeli relationship. That's not the tribute of a man who mailed it in. That's a man who worked until the day the work stopped him. Now here's something that happened on Israeli television that I don't think most Americans even heard about. And when I saw it, it stopped me cold. On the Israeli channel 14, a news anchor named Yinon Magal was live on his program, The Patriots, when he paused the whole broadcast. He told his audience that he wanted to do something he'd never done on air before: recite the mourner's Kaddish. For a United States Senator, a Baptist Christian, a man who, halachically, this prayer was never designated for. But here's what got me. He didn't just do it as a gesture, and he didn't do it on his own. He called a rabbi, a posek first. He consulted with Rabbi Yitzchak Zilberstein, one of the most respected halachic authorities in the Haredi world, and asked him directly, can you say Kaddish for a non-Jew? My father wasn't Jewish, and I did say Kaddish for him, so I already knew the answer myself. So the answer he got back was, first learn a Mishnah, and then you can say the Kaddish de Rabbanan, the rabbi's Kaddish, which may be recited for mourning a relative, but is not reserved only for mourning a relative. Rather, it is said after Torah study as a form of gratitude. So live on television, Magal put on a yarmulke, and his panel, together with him, studied a Mishnah from Pirkei Avos. Let your fellow's property be as precious as your own. And after that, they recited the Kaddish for a Christian senator from South Carolina, because they believed his life had earned that honor. I keep thinking about that sequence. He didn't skip to the emotion. He asked first, he learned first, and the prayer came afterwards. Because that's what you do in this tradition when something demands more than just a headline. And whatever any of us think about Zionism or about American foreign policy in the Middle East, there is something genuinely moving about an Orthodox Jewish community deciding that a Christian politician's life had sanctified God's name enough to be mourned like a member of the family. And before I get into the politics of friendship, I want to tell you about one friendship in particular, because I think it's the most beautiful thing I found while putting this video together. For years, there were the Three Musketeers, or maybe the Three Stooges, all of them gone now. Lindsey Graham, John McCain, and Senator Joe Lieberman, Zichrono Livracha, an observant Jew, may his memory be a blessing. They were known around Washington not as any of the other threes that I mentioned, but rather as the Three Amigos. Two Republicans and an independent Democrat traveling the world together on foreign policy trips, arguing policy, cracking jokes, and somehow becoming as close as brothers. Here's the detail that got me. Graham said that after years of traveling together, he learned to recognize exactly when Shabbos comes in on a Friday, no matter what country they were in, because Lieberman, who literally wrote a book about Shabbos, always knew. Graham joked eventually that he got so good at tracking it that, in his words, that he didn't have to ask. When he would often ask Joe, what time is Shabbos? He didn't have to do this anymore because he knew already himself. He picked it up just from being near his friend. McCain passed away in 2018. Lieberman was nifter in 2024. And when Joe Lieberman died, Graham was almost unbelievably just leaving Israel himself. He said he felt fortunate to have been in Lieberman's presence, traveling the world together in what they both believed was service to their country. And here's the detail I can't shake. Senator Graham died this past Saturday night, almost at the exact moment that Shabbos was ending. A man who spent years learning to sense when his friend's Shabbos began and ended, left this world just as one was closing. I don't know what to do with a detail like that except notice it and to say, may it be comfort to those who loved him, his last hours on earth lined up, however you want to understand it, with the rhythm of his closest friend's faith. Now I want to sit with one more friendship, because I think it matters just as much as the politics. Senator Dick Durbin, a Democrat, someone who disagreed with Graham on plenty, was actually with him on the same trip to the NATO summit in Turkey just days before he died. And Durbin said something afterwards I keep coming back to. He said that in the end, the Senate, and maybe life itself, runs on personal relationships. He said he and Graham were friends, that they never stabbed each other in the back, that they disagreed on a great deal, and it never stopped them from working together. I don't know about you, but that line landed on me, because it's not how we're taught to think about politics right now. We're taught to think that the other side is the enemy, that disagreements mean the relationship is over, that you can't break bread, or in this case break policy, with someone who votes different than you. But Graham and Durbin didn't buy that. They fought like cats and dogs over immigration reform for years, and somehow, when it actually needed to get done, they found a way to do it together. And that's not weakness. In Jewish tradition we have a phrase, machlokes l'shem shamayim, argument, disagreement for the sake of heaven. I often say that in Judaism, strife and disagreement is sacred. Two people can disagree passionately, even permanently, and still be building something true together, because the argument itself is in service of something higher than either of their egos. And I think both Graham and Durbin, without ever using that phrase, live something close to it. You know, this channel is built around dialogue across lines that most people think are uncrossable. Jews and Muslims, Jews and Christians, tradition and modernity. And I think Graham's life at the very end of it is a small parable about exactly that kind of work. He held convictions. He didn't pretend disagreements didn't exist. He didn't paper over real differences with fake niceness. But he still showed up. He still called people friends whose politics he found frustrating. He still believed that the relationship came first, and the disagreement, however serious, came second. That's a lesson bigger than foreign policy. That's a lesson for anyone trying to have an honest conversation with someone who sees the world differently than they do. So Lindsey Graham was not a perfect man, and I'm not here to canonize him as a saint. He was a politician with all the compromises and contradictions that come with that life. And you know by now, I don't come to this from a Zionist place. But he was loyal where it counted. He worked until his last hours, and he modeled, even if imperfectly, the idea that friendship can survive real disagreement, and it can even survive whatever we believe waits on the other side of it, the way he did with Joe Lieberman. President Trump called him a true American patriot, and I'll add something simpler. He was a true friend to people across every divide that was supposed to keep them apart. May his memory be a blessing, and may his family find comfort, especially his sister as she succeeds him in the Senate. If this kind of conversation matters to you, faith, disagreement, and the relationships that hold across both, that's what this channel is about. Subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. And here's a video that you might want to check out. God bless.
We hope you enjoyed this content. This channel has over 5,000 videos, including Torah commentary, podcasts, footage of Jewish and historical events, and much more. We are sure you will find more videos you will enjoy. Please like, share, subscribe, hit the bell button, and comment. Rabbi Kolakowski often makes videos based on questions in the comment section, so you might have a video made just for you. By helping this channel grow, you are helping to spread Torah. God bless.